SA Sports Show. If you want to get a good Adelaide story, a true Adelaide sporting story, this is the one, mate.
Absolute ripper.
Well, this is the one. Adelaide Avalanche, they've won the PHL Cup, the Walker Cup, in Melbourne, beating Melbourne as well.
First year?
First year of the PHL, and bang, they've won it. Now, before we get into it, join us in the studio, goalie Jeremy Friedrich and defender Timothy Benson. Boys, well done. That is a big, big result, is it not?
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, thanks for having us.
No problem at all.
It's an honour to be here. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a young team and we kind of just rolled with it. Things started going our way towards the end of the season and all of a sudden we're in finals and we sweep the final series. So.
But before we actually get into this, and we'll delve a bit deeper if you don't mind, but take me through the year leading up before we've moved into the PHL. Tell me about the results and how we were tracking.
So, look, we've had the COVID break, and for 3 years we didn't have any national leagues. So it was up to the States to do a lot of stuff locally, and we were really lucky that we had a couple of good leagues and programs going. So coming into the PHL season, we didn't really know what to expect. We'd come off a pretty rough season last time we played, but with a young team, we'd done the right things and we'd changed the culture of the club. So we were hoping for something pretty successful. First couple of weeks were a little bit rough. I think we started 2-4. So, it was a little bit of work to do, but we were really close in all of our games. So we knew that we weren't far off of having the right recipe for success. And then, we started rolling with it. Halfway through the season, we started losing guys. Like me and a couple of others were in Mexico for the Under-20 World Championships. So we had, a couple of outs there. A couple of guys were back in Canada and things like that. But the team prevailed and they just kept rolling with it. And all of a sudden, we found ourselves in the semis and then in the grand final. So.
When you say the culture change, I think you were Norton 20 odd. Is that right?
Yep.
That's no wins, 20 odd losses before you go into the PHL.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you're going to go in there with a lot of confidence. That was my point. That to go in and win the thing.
An amazing team.
It's an amazing performance. But I spoke to you a little bit off there, mate. Greg Oddie. Now, any team or any ice hockey team that's got this man anywhere near them is going to do well, and he is a definite culture man, is he not?
Oh, absolutely. So he's one of our general managers right now, and you could just see a guy that knows how to win. He's arguably one of the best Australian players of all time for the sport. So
exactly.
He brought a lot of that winning mentality and built a team based on what it takes to win. So it was really good to have him around.
So both you guys, I mean, you're in the goals.
Yep.
And Tim, you're a defender. I mean, I have trouble even seeing the puck, so I need to understand how is it that you guys are able to measure this and actually stop that thing is moving so quick. And what do they say about ice hockey players eat footballers for breakfast?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
So they reckon.
Oh, look, I don't know about eating footy players for breakfast, but I think it's one of those things. I mean, like Mum told me I chose goalie because I like to be the centre of attention, and she's probably right in that one. But it's just a matter of when you're in the zone, you kind of turn everything else out and
see nothing else.
Exactly.
And it is a bit of predicting as well. I mean, you're getting a read of the game, and I take it that's
absolutely
part of it.
Yeah.
I mean, look, the defensemen help me out a lot as well. They do their job and keep the guys to the outside and things like that to make my saves easier. But yeah, absolutely. You just kind of read the play. It comes at you pretty quickly, so you just hope it hits you and pretend like you meant to do it on purpose.
So, Tim, mate, 22 seconds into the game, bang. The Ducks, I love that, the Melbourne Ducks. That was my lad's favourite TV show growing up, was the Mighty Ducks. Yeah, it was a great movie. 22 seconds in, bang, they've scored. What are you thinking?
Well, obviously with the Ducks rink, when they score, actually all goes black, and it was a bit brutal. It was very momentum killer because we were all ready in the room, all ready to go. And then 22 seconds in, I think, just off a bad play, a broken play, Webster, they're probably their best player, one of the best Australian hockey players alive, scores top shelf. And it was really good from the boys to really bounce back and just keep going and not really going to take anything away from that goal.
Yeah. Where's that accent, mate? Where are you from?
No, I'm from Ottawa, Canada.
Okay, I thought as much. I mean, you're obviously not.
I was born in Switzerland. So,
okay.
Yeah, I've lost my accent.
There's an influence, isn't there? I mean, you've got to have it, I suspect, to get the game going. And you've come over from Canada.
My family moved here about 10 years ago. Me and my brother started started playing. Nathaniel obviously first, and then I followed suit not long after, and we've just been playing ever since. And we love the community here. It's been great. We played with Coach Sammy Mantier, who's coached at Avalanche now. We've been coached by him maybe 9 years now. So
I saw he got he was coach of the year.
Yeah.
Got a flag.
He's got a flag. Can you take us through what's the makeup of the group? I mean, you said you've got a young group, and they're, you know, in terms of culture, you're all blending together. Can you give us a bit more insight into the nationalities and the makeup, and how many local boys have we got?
Oh, look, most of the guys are Adelaide-based. We were really lucky, actually, that Perth didn't have any teams in the National League this year. So Defenceman of the Year for the comp, Jamie Woodman, who's also the Australian captain, played for us. Him, Tom McSack, and another Johan Levesque from Perth all came down. The rest of the guys are all locals living in Adelaide. But obviously, you know, to get into ice hockey, you usually have to be coming from a country that plays it a little bit more. So we do have a fair few Canadians, a couple Europeans. I mean, our coach, Sami Mantis from Finland,
Yeah.
you know, he played his days in the junior comps over there, was really successful, and then, you know, studied coaching and came over here and implemented it into our system.
Yeah.
So yeah, look, it's a bunch of guys that have been playing together for a couple of years and not longer, and you know, it just gelled really well. You know, we all knew each other really well,
And winning a final away is, I mean, it's great to win a final, but gee, you'd love to win it at home in front of you, because you got some good fans, I believe.
Yeah.
Your fans are pretty loud and proud and whatever, and get right into it. Was it the same in Melbourne?
Look, we were really lucky. We had a lot of people come down and travel to watch the game. We played game 1 on a Thursday, so it was a lot more Melbourne people there. But on the Saturday in game 2, which was the decider in the end, a lot of the local fans from Adelaide came down and watched. So it was about 60-40 split.
Yeah.
So they got really, really loud when things got going. And, you know, as a player, you try and tune out the noise, but it was definitely really good to have them there.
And you guys have got some honours coming up, some representing Australia under 21s. Is that coming up soon?
So the Australian under 21 league is coming up soon. So we'll be playing for South Australia in that one, which is the Adelaide Generals, and that's kind of where, you know, a lot of the guys move into that national league or national teams as well. That's where the coaches go to look for the under 20 teams and things like that. So yeah, that's going to be over the summer, and that'll be pretty good for us.
Just a quick one for you was, how did you get into the game?
So yeah, I was born in Switzerland. I think I started skating almost as soon as I could walk.
Yeah.
And then we moved over here with my family when I was about 6. And yeah, never stopped. I was a player for a little while, but no, I could never really get off the ice.
Well, now you've set a rod for you. You've really set the bar fairly high now, and you know, we've got another season coming up that we're going to be watching you very, very closely, and hopefully we get you back in, and hopefully you have a similar year, because that's a great story that
Great
you
story.
guys. That is a really good story.
And you're great ambassadors for your sport, and it's an exciting sport. So,
Yeah, good on you guys.
No, thanks very
for
much
joining
for having us.
We really appreciate it. We'll be back with more in just a moment.